And Michael's going to do the candle and explain that. And then John's going to lead us in a song.
Yeah, hi, good morning. How are you? So this is our candle that we light every Sunday. The wax itself represents that there's only one. There's only one. There's only one. And that the big secret of the ages is that we are one with it. That's the one wick that we light. That's the divinity candle representing you. Is that the kingdom of heaven, the light of God? It's as you, in you, and through you. And when we meet together, as I light the second wick, that we shine a much greater light into the world. So again, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
It's time for a new start. We have a new month. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart, living in a better way. Working together with the skills of many hands, helping each other make the best life we can. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart, living in a better way. Life becoming better as harm and suffering cease. Kindness for each other will live and grow in
Well, thank you, John, and we appreciate that. And I am going to go ahead and read 365 Science of Mind. Let me just get this pulled up here. And today we consciously let go of every discord. I drop all sense of lack or limitation from my thought and every belief that I have ever had in negation or fear. I now have a belief in success and faith. I permit the spirit within me to express itself in perfect freedom, bringing increasing joy into my experience. This is that within me that is completely conscious of its unity with good, all of its oneness with all the power there is and all the presence there is and all the life there is. Upon this power, presence, and life, I depend with implicit certainty, with complete confidence, and with absolute assurance. I allow the divine wholeness to flow through me into ever widening fields of activity. Every good I have ever experienced is now increased tenfold. Every joy I have ever experienced is now multiplied. There is a new influx of inspiration into my thought. I see more clearly than ever before that my divine birthright is freedom, peace, joy, and eternal goodness. I perceive this same birthright is bequeathed to all people. All power is delivered unto me, and this power I use for my own and every other's person good. This divine presence interprets itself to me in love. Friendship, peace, joy, and goodness are mine now and forever. And that was 365, Science of Mind. Okay. Thank you. So we're going to go into meditation. Tim is going to be our speaker today. Tim, can I ask you what your topic is? I'm sorry. I really appreciate you doing this today, by the way.
Problem. The Art of Living in Harmony, with the subtitle Metaphysics of Lao Tzu.
Cool. Sounds great. All right. Well, John's going to do a song. Michael's going to do the meditation, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
We are life and awareness, love, caring, and art. True peace and beauty are in the heart. Hear the music, feel it ring, sounds of beauty, free to sing. If we agree together with a peaceful mind, the future will be better as we are wise and kind. Hear the music, feel it ring, sounds of beauty, free to sing.
So the words of the psalmist come up, which is, peace, be still, and know that I am God. So as we close our eyes, and let's take a deep breath in, inhale, and exhale. Release, relax, and just let go. Scan your body. Just look at it. Just scan your body. Yes. Are there areas that seem peaceful? Are there areas that seem to be tense? Just draw your attention to those tense areas and just allow them to melt away. Allow your shoulders to drop and to allow your neck to be loose. You may even want to turn your head to the right, to the left, and up and down. Allowing yourself to be supported by the chair. And take another deep breath in. Inhale and exhale. And let a wave of relaxation go from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet. Just let every cell, every atom of your being reflect the love, the life, the light, the peace, the power, the beauty, and the joy of spirit. Just become aligned with that. And again, as we take another deep breath in, inhale, and exhale, we drop into the heart area, the heart chakra, the sacred heart. We drop into the light. We drop into the dwelling place of God as us. And we feel that oneness with the world, the oneness with all of nature, that oneness with each other. And even though that we're diverse, we all recognize that there is only one. There's only one life, one presence, one power. There's only one mind that expresses as me and expresses as you. Only one. There's only one. There's only one. And we are one with that. That one life, that one activity. So today, right here, right now, that we now allow ourselves to let go of any fear, of any anxiety, of any worry of any type. We just say thank you for it. Thank you for the worry because it warns us. We can let it go because it's not needed. For we are eternal beings living in an eternal universe. So today we just allow ourselves to be immersed in that grace that we talked about last Sunday. We accept more good into our lives today than we ever have. We allow ourselves today to be who we are, and that is divine. We allow ourselves to be that, to be that, to be that, to be that Christ that Jesus taught and talked about. Christ is not Jesus's last name, but it was, again, the whole idea of not only the Messiah, but the whole idea of that we are one with that one Christ consciousness, that one Christ awareness. What Jesus was that we can again surrender into and know for our lives. So today we speak a blessing over ourselves and over each other. We just now know that this beautiful day that we're experiencing, this beautiful day of summer, this beautiful day of life, again, that we just rejoice in it. This is the day that God has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. So today we allow ourselves to be who we are, and that is divine. We allow ourselves to prosper in every way. We allow ourselves to be healed and whole and well. We allow good opportunities to come forth. We allow prospering ideas. We allow ourselves just to be the creative individuals that we are. The God essence of us in the world. God having fun as us. Yes. So we just give great thanks for this day and for this group of individuals that call themselves as a collective Summit Center for Spiritual Living. I give great thanks for each and every person because we are here by divine appointment, not only to strengthen each other, but also to uplift each other into that higher awareness that of who we are. So for all of this, I give great thanks today. I give great thanks for the peace, the power, the joy, the essence of Spirit is us. And for this, I just give great thanks as I now release this word into the creative consciousness of God, and knowing that it is done, it is so. And so if you agree with me, please say with me, and so it is.
Hear the music, feel it ring, sounds of beauty, free to sing. Peaceful, kind awareness, love, caring, and heart, true peace and beauty are in the heart. Creative awareness is in the heart.
And as you open your eyes, please also open your cameras and look into the camera, into each other's eyes, and just see the magnificent being each of us are, the magnificence of Spirit. So, okay. Well, thank you, John. Thank you, Michael. And it is my pleasure to introduce our musician, and he's also a long-time truth student and minister, everything. Anyways, Tim Morrow. I am so happy to introduce him. And I'm going to turn this over to you, Tim, to do your talk now. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for having me again. And first of all, am I coming through well? Okay. So the best part of this morning is the topic that we have to explore. As I mentioned earlier, the title of this talk is The Art of Living in Harmony, with the subtitle, The Metaphysics of Lao Tzu. How many of you would like to demonstrate more harmony and inner peace in your life? Anyone here? Okay, those of you who had your camera open, I'm getting a nod, so you've picked the right meeting to attend this morning. Okay, thank you, John. I remember years ago, Dr. J. Scott Neal was talking about one of his first teachers at the Institute of Religious Science, and that was Dr. Manly Hall. For those of you who haven't heard that name before, Manly Hall was a renowned scholar of world religions and philosophy and a good friend of Dr. Ernest Holmes. And as Jay relayed the story, during one of Dr. Hall's classes, one of the students asked him about what it had been like to be a friend and colleague of Ernest Holmes. And his answer was, Dr. Holmes understood the history of the world religions and ancient philosophies better than any of us. He took the time to understand the teachings of Socrates in ancient Greece, Gautama the Buddha in ancient India, of course, Jesus from ancient Palestine, and not quite so ancient Ralph Waldo Emerson from the United States, and from ancient China, Lao Tzu, whose teachings we'll focus on in just a second. And that's just to name a few. He knew more about all of these people and what they taught than any of his contemporaries, according to Dr. Hall. And he understood that there was a common denominator to what all of them taught. They had very different cultures and languages to teach in, and so they use very different methods, but the essence of what each taught was pretty much the same, had that common denominator. But Dr. Hall went on to say, understanding all this wasn't enough for Ernest Holmes. He had to find a way to take that common denominator and put it into the language of the 20th century and teach in a way that the people of his time and culture could understand and put into practice. And to get across that what these great thinkers knew, we can know, and what they practice, we can practice. The problem is that it's so much easier to look back at the person who represents your religion and worship them instead of following their example. And that's how the 5 M's of religious evolution happen. I think it was from Dr. Frank Judici that I learned about the 5 M's. You all know what they are, right? Yep. The man, the message, the movement, the machine, and finally the monument. So it starts with the man, or in these days it can also be a woman, but that is to say the great teacher who had something great to teach and developed a following of students, hence the man or woman and their message. And after a while, some of the students embody this teaching and graduate to being great teachers in their own right. And then after several generations, this teaching spreads into a movement. And then eventually, an organized religion, hence the machine. And usually after this goes on for about a couple centuries, that the people begin to look back at the original teacher and worship him as a god. And they build statues and pray to images of him, hence the monument. Now, you're all familiar with the way this happened to Jesus of Nazareth and Gautama the Buddha and the 2 monstrosities that we call the Christian and Buddhist religions. It also happened to a lesser degree with another great thinker who I mentioned, who we know as Lao Tzu, and the teachings that are attributed to him that we read in the book we call the Tao Te Ching. This is an interpretation by Stephen Mitchell. The religion that sprang from that, called Taoism, is primarily practiced in East Asian countries, including parts of China, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, and even Vietnam. So let's take a look at this figure that Dr. Holmes drew heavily from in developing this teaching that we're a part of. So as I was preparing for this talk, one thing I learned was that Lao Tzu was not actually his name. The name or the title actually translates to Old Master. So like the title Christ means anointed one, Buddha means enlightened one, Lao Tzu means Old Master. So these three titles can actually be interchanged. He lived and taught about 500 years before Jesus came along. Scholars estimate 600 to 530 BC or BCE, though that's a very rough estimation. The exact dates are very hard to place with the limited historical documents that we have from that time. He was said to have been what was called a Shi, S-H-I, which loosely translates to librarian or historian. But the Shi in ancient China were considered scholars who specialized in things like astrology and divination, and they were in charge of sacred books and writings. And Lao Tzu was appointed as a Shi in the royal court. This was during the Zhao dynasty, when warlords were pretty much in constant battle for land and power. And there came a time when Lao Tzu decided he'd had enough of watching the decline of the society he lived in, and packed up, got on the back of an ox that he owned, and headed west to live the life of a hermit. As he came to the pass of the state of Qin, which is northwestern China, or was northwestern China, he came across a guardian of the pass by the name of Yin Shi. Yin Shi knew Lao Tzu by reputation and really wanted to study with him. But since Lao Tzu was not really interested in taking on a new student or even sticking around very long, Yin Shi further suggested that he write down his most important ideas for Yin Shi and others who were literate to study and share with the people who were not literate, which was about 90% of the population. So Lao Tzu agreed to this and wrote out a book of about 5,000 Chinese characters, which was later given the title Dao Ti Ching. The word Dao loosely translates to the way, path, or principle. Sort of the way we describe God in our teaching, but I'm told that there isn't really a word in the English language that it properly translates into. Then Te, which translates to virtue, power, or inner integrity, and then Qing, which translates to classic or great book or canon. Then he told the guardian of the pass, "Here you go. Hope you find this helpful. Now I need to ease on down the road." He got back on his ox, and that was said to have been the last anyone saw of him. But this book, which would have been a long scroll, probably made of silk, became the basis of a major religion and profoundly influenced Eastern and Western philosophy, as well as martial arts and leadership models. So let's take a look at some passages from it, starting with my favorite. In chapter 33, we're given this advice: knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. And our own practice of spiritual mind treatment, which we did a series of talks on a few months ago, is not about manipulating your world, in spite of the impression that a lot of people who are in our teaching get. It's about demonstrating greater clarity in your own understanding, your own consciousness of who and what you are, then in turn demonstrating a change for the better in your experience out in the physical world. See? So how do we do this? By recognizing that the experience you're moving through, whatever it is, good or bad, is just that, your experience. But don't confuse that with the truth of who and what you are. This infinite being that we call God, expressing itself in a wonderful and unique way. And when Lao Tzu wrote about overcoming yourself, he was referring to getting past any self-definition that's less than that. We have our New Thought interpretation of the third of the 10 commandments in the Bible. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, which means essentially saying, I am, and then finishing the sentence with something negative, or you are, and then putting something negative by that. Not recognizing God in all that is. So I've had people ask me about the religion I practice, and the question always comes up, are you people saved? And I always give them the same answer they don't want to hear. The only thing any of us needs to be saved from is our own nonsense, our own limited definition of ourselves and of the world around us. Now, in chapter 71 of the Tao Te Ching, we get this passage, which a lot of people find confusing, myself included. The literal translation is, not knowing is true knowledge. Presuming to know is a disease. From what I've read, that is the most direct translation from the ancient Chinese dialect. In some translations, it's paraphrased to say simply, the wise man is one who knows what he does not know. One of Dr. J's favorite sayings was, the more you know, there's more to know. I remember him saying this several times during a Sunday talk, and then later that afternoon during Aikido class, which is a Japanese martial art that I was very much into at the time. Our instructor, Jack Wada, said the same thing, except in a different way. He said, never stop thinking with the beginner's mind. And I realized that it was the universe pointing out to me. I was working on developing a consciousness of several changes for the better in my life, but there were several lessons coming up that I would need to embrace in order to be responsible for these changes. So it was important to be teachable and embrace the lessons and not have to learn from the school of hard knocks. Has anyone ever been sent there for a semester? But I had to empty my cup. We're also given a similar lesson in chapter 9. Fill your bowl to the brim and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife and it will blunt. That's a lot like the story, which I'm sure some of you have heard, about the learned scholar who once visited a Zen monastery to learn about the Zen philosophy. The scholar was well versed in many subjects and prided himself on his knowledge. So when he arrived and was welcomed in, he began talking about all that he knew and asking questions and sharing his opinions, leaving little time for the Zen master to speak. And the Zen master listened patiently for a while and then offered some tea. And he began pouring the tea into the scholar's cup. And even after the cup, he kept pouring and pouring. And when the cup was full, he continued pouring. And the tea overflowed onto the table and then onto the floor. And the scholars explained, hey, stop, the cup is full. He can't hold anymore. What are you doing? The Zen master stopped pouring and said, the same thing you're doing. Like this cup, your mind is full of your own ideas and knowledge. If you want to learn, you must first empty your own cup. So that's an important challenge we have as students of this teaching. On more than one occasion, I've seen people, including practitioners and ministers in religious science, get cocky and think, hey, one life, one infinite presence, I've got this philosophy down. I can handle anything. Then the next thing they know, there's a knock at the door, and waiting behind it, this really scary being that says, hi there. I'm anything. Let's see you handle me. And they get on the phone and shout, Reverend Michael, Diana, help! So let me wind down with some final words from Lao Tzu to help keep us out of pitfalls like that. So going to chapter 16, if you don't realize the source, you stumble in confusion and sorrow. When you realize where you come from, you naturally become tolerant, disinterested, amused, kind-hearted as a grandmother, and dignified as a king. So let us all remember who and what we are. Like I said, perfect expressions of the one, yet each of us unique. Each of us is God expressing itself, not part of God, God expressing itself in a way that it never did before and will never again. So it's important to take the time to each day to celebrate that uniqueness. Ask ourselves, how can I be a blessing to my world? And how can the world be a blessing to me? Both of those questions are important. All the rest are just details. So, have I reached 20 minutes yet? Oh, well, I think I've said what I needed to say. So, let that be your way. And so it is. And I hope you've found this informative and helpful in some way. So.
Thank you, Tim. Yes, I definitely did. And I really like the fact about the cup overflowing, that we have to let go of the other stuff so that we can actually fill our cup again and learn more. I really, really like that. It was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to turn this over to whoever may have a question or comment.
Tim, I always love hearing you speak. And
Absolutely.
I think that it really, again, I really like your mix of, again, not only of scholarship, but also of, teaching the principles, again, in some of our, I'm not sure of today, but some of our churches, Centers for Spiritual Living, religious science churches in the past, that people have almost worshiped Ernest Holmes. And he would have, if that would have happened, he would have come in and turned over a bunch of tables. Yeah, because again, it's the practice. And if one thinks that they've been to the top of the mountain, the only thing that there is going down. So there's always there's humility in that, in knowing that again. And I, as someone who I believe, as someone who reads Ernest Holmes every day, there's always people say, well, I got the science of mind, I went ahead and I'm going, okay, no problem. Why don't you go ahead and share with me a spiritual mind treatment? And then sometimes some can, some can't. But again, I'm always learning, always, always allowing myself again to experience again, and again, just being in the moment and being on the path, being on the way. The early Christian church was known as the way. So, being on that path of the teaching. So thank you, Tim. That was great. And I like the 5 M's too. That was good.
Well, I have to say that was thoroughly enjoying. It was just an incredibly clear, yet simple, yet profound presentation. And I really enjoyed what you said at the end. It was just that piece of, I'm going to say, oh, by the way, here's how to live your life. And it was just 2 simple sentences. How can I bless the world? And how has the world blessed me?
Or how can I let the world bless me if I don't feel particularly blessed right now? So yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And of course, I think we all know from our experience, when the time seems the worst and the darkest can be the time of very great growth for us and deepening understanding if we stay open and are there. So thank you so much, Tim. Always a joy to hear you speak.
Yes, thank you. And turn this over to John now.
Well, that was wonderful, Tim. I did a paper in graduate school on Madhyamika Buddhism out of Tibet and Taoism, feeding a lot of the philosophy of Chan Buddhism in China, and then into Zen in Japan. There's a lot of relationships there between these various strains of Eastern philosophy, but that was really, really good. Thank you. Well, this is a song that probably goes pretty well with that we've had for many years. I created it one morning on my way to Summit Center in 2011 called In Heart and Mind. Here we are. What to do? Where to go to heal and renew? On we go to seek and find, to love and grow in heart and mind. For dreams and goals to keep alive, for plans and acts to build and thrive. On we go to seek and find, to love and grow in heart and mind. Here we are, more to do, far to go. Ever new, on we go to seek and find, to love and grow in heart and mind.
Thank you, John. That was beautiful. Okay, so it is that time in our service where we have the opportunity to give, and we can do that several ways. You can go to PayPal or you can go to Zelle, and you would go to sscofakron@gmail.com. That's sscofakron@gmail.com, and you can give that way, or you can send a check to with the word Summit on it, or Summit Spiritual Center, or Summit Center. As long as it has Summit, that's the main thing. And you would send that to 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio, 44310, and we'll make sure it gets into the account. And so with that, as we take our gifts in our hand, right top over left, just know with me, all that we have, all that we receive, all that we give is blessed in a very special manner, that it goes to the work of Summit Center for Spiritual Living and the truth that sets us free. And so it is. Amen. All right. How about some good, more good, John?
John, you're muted.
You forgot to unmute.
Okay, John.
There we go. I'm sorry. Good, more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. Unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel oh so good. I'm worthy and entitled to good and more good. It crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. More good is ours, and ever increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is.
Thank you, John. And at this time for announcements, I'm going to turn it over to Michael.
Well, hey, again, ntmedia.org is where I spend most of my week. And this week, after 3.5, getting notified at 3:30 for a 7:00 appointment, I had my my interview with a representative of the Ministers' Council for Ordination, and that went very well. And so thank you guys for all of your love and support. Thank you, John, for the very nice letter that you wrote. I will send you the payment in the mail. No. So yeah. So Yeah, it's gonna. So the next step is that I will get the letter that either says so I'm knowing that the letter says congratulations, your name has been put forward to Leadership Council for ordination. So, but thank you guys very much. I couldn't have done it without you guys. So thank you. All right, John, what are you doing these days? I mean, you're just busy all over the place.
Yep. Was that a Zoom interview they did with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, I work on my blog when I can. I'm putting one up today that I recorded last week, and I guess I missed putting it up. I don't know. I forgot to put it up. So it'll go up today. But yeswise.com is where you find Yeswise Inspiry. And also on my Yeswise channel at YouTube. And you can find my music at johndavidmiller.com. And what else do? I help take an old guy to his business. He's 90 years old, and it's happening every day now. He's going for it. He's going to build that business now.
So, and also, if you need a used school bus, talk to John. John will take real good care of you.
All right.
Okay, and the next week our speaker will be Michael Mangus. A week after that will be John Miller, and then Carol Ann will be there for the fourth Sunday. So we are that's what's coming up, and yeah. So unless there's any other announcements that I can't, then I guess it's time for us to have a moment of silence. And John's going to ping for us. But this is a time to bring into your hearts and minds anybody who may need some help, whether it be spiritual, mental, physical, emotional, abundance, prosperity, whatever it may be, that it happens right now. It's happening right now, and it's being taken care of right now. And okay, John, our ping. Okay, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Not only all is well with us, all is well in general. So it is. Amen.
We are the people of love. We are the people of love. Sing out, people, sing out loud. We are the people of love. We are the people of peace. We are the people of peace. Sing out, people, sing out peace. We are the people of peace. We are the people of joy. We are the people of joy. Sing out, people, sing out joy. We are the people of joy. We are the people of love. We are the people of love. Sing out, people, sing out loud. We are the people of love. We are the people of love.
All right. Thank you so much. And that ends our service. And Hannah, let us know when we're off of Facebook here. And we will